All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakak Wadash. Second of all, I want to give double honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone, Elder Tahar, and on down that rule well. And third of all, I want to give a peace and safety to the hope for the elect out there, the brothers that push this truth, the truth of the King James Bible, and our truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the globe. All right, so I just want to do a short lesson. I have alone the spirit of Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. Allows it to be open in the video. The people in Babylon are in mourning. All right, and Lord wills, brothers on the screen. I have this article here from the Zero Hedge, and it says, "If everything is so great, why are millions of Americans sleeping in their vehicles?" All right, you got something out there now called van life or car life or whatever, where a number of people are uploading videos on YouTube of them sleeping in their car, sleeping in their vans or their cars, living out of their cars. Some of them are living solo, and some of them are living with families. All right, and no, that's poverty, man. Even though some people say they chose to do it, they choose to do it. Really, the reason why they're doing it because they can't afford housing. They can't. I mean, some of them may just be doing it just to do it for the freedom, so-called freedom or whatever, but the majority of people are pretty much they're forced to do it because again they don't make enough to be able to afford an apartment or afford rent or whatever, or afford an apartment or afford a mortgage or whatever. They can't afford it, so they just sleep in their vehicles. All right, and again, some of them live solo, and then you have some of them that have children. It'll be a man, a woman, and a child. All right, living out of their vehicles. All right, and that's poverty, man. All right, that's poverty. Nobody wants to live out of their vehicle. Nobody really wants to do that. Again, you may have some of them that are just doing it just to do it, but a majority of them are doing it because they can't afford, again, a house or apartment or a house or an apartment or whatever. All right, so it says again, if everything is so great, why are millions of Americans sleeping in their vehicles? I'm just read a little bit of it. I'm not going to read all of it. It says, have you noticed an unusual number of vehicles in the parking lot of major retailers in your area at night, especially Walmart? All right. Places like Walmart, the mall, places like that. You see a number of cars just parked out there with, some of them have sheets or whatever over the window. All right. Some of them have sheets or whatever over the window. All right, so nobody can look in or whatever. All right. It says have noticed an unusual number of vehicles in the parking lot of major retailers in your area at night. If you look closely enough, you will see that many of these vehicles actually have people sleeping in them. At this point, millions of Americans are sleeping in their vehicles, right? Millions, all right, are sleeping in their vehicles every night. This is happening even though we are being told that the economy is just fine, right? And the politicians or whatever, or the kings and princes of Babylon the Great, get up there week in, week out, and lie to the people and tell them, yeah, everything's fine, everything's great. But then you got this, millions of people sleeping in their vehicles. All right, again, some by choice, but the majority of them are just priced out of everything. They can't afford an apartment. They can't afford a house. All right. But of course, the truth is that the system is failing all around us. So if you get to sleep in a very warm bed in a very warm house, you should consider yourself to be very blessed, because vast numbers of people are really struggling right now. Yeah, we're in the worst case scenario here, but brothers ain't sleeping in their cars, brothers ain't sleeping on the street, brothers do have apartments or whatever, or houses or whatever. All right, so the Most High is definitely looking out, big time for brothers. All right, and check this part right here out, man. This right here is crazy. In particular, the cost of housing has become very extremely oppressive. In fact, housing in the United States has become more affordable than it has unaffordable. Let me read it again. In fact, housing in the United States, which is Babylon the Great, has become more unaffordable than it has ever been before. This week, I was stunned. Check this out, man. Stunned to read about a 33-year-old man named, and I was trying to pronounce his name, that is paying $1,200, $2,100, Salakia, a month to share a house with 23 other people. That's fucking crazy, man. This person is spending $2,100 a month and he's sharing a house with 23 other people, man. That's crazy, man. All right. Shows how jacked up shit really is here. And I bet he still ain't living comfortable. I bet he still has barely to no money, all right, or whatever. Even though he's living with 23 other people, man, in a city as notoriously expensive as New York, it's common to see people in their late 20s and early 30s living with roommates to help manage the high cost of living. The guy said has taken that to the next level with his current living situation in Brooklyn, a commune building that he shares with a whopping 23 other people. So he's paying $2,100 a month and he don't even have his own place. That's wild, man. And when I say I have 23 housemates, people are like, "What? That sounds wild." Tell the Alphabet Media makes it, but actually it's quite nice. Who would pay that much to live with 23 strangers? This is nuts. Who would pay that much to live with 23 strangers? Of course, most Americans can't afford to pay $2,100 a month, right? Because most people can't even afford that. All right, but he's paying it to live with 23 other people, man. That's wild, man. But that's we're witnessing the downfall of Babylon the Great. When you see stuff like that, a nation is going down. All right. When you see that means a nation is going down and it's falling fast. It's beautiful, man. It's gorgeous. All right. Things are going to get worse. Way worse. So I can get ready to go clock in. This is Proverbs chapter 29, verse 2. The righteous are in authority, the people but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. Right. And if this ain't mourning, the people live in vehicles, man. In cars. By their own will. So they're doing it. All right, because they want to, but the majority of them are doing it because they can't afford an apartment or a house. All right, so they choose to do this. And the thing is, they're not even getting ahead. A lot of them are sleeping in their car or the house, and they're not even getting ahead. All right. So if you can't see this place is done, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like if you still can't see, I say I humbly, all right, because I'm praying I'm a part of that number, but if this place is done, I really don't know what to tell you. Like straight up, man. All right. So when the wicked bear rule, the people aren't mourning, man. The fact that you got 1 million people living in their cars, that's not nice. That's poverty, man. They get like a gym at Planet Fitness or whatever, and they'll just go shower there every day. Some of them probably ain't even taking showers. No, I don't know. I just watched a few of them, but that's real deal oppression, man. All right, nobody should want to live like that. That's not, and that's why we want this place destroyed, man. All right, because the devil is gets off on stuff like that. He's happy about stuff like that. All right. Now it's like let me find this precept. Is it 13 and 29? Salakia, brother, let me find this precept real quick. Salakia. Okay, Salakia, brothers, it was Sirach 29. This Sirach chapter 29, verse 21. The chief things of life is water and bread and clothing and a house to cover thy shame. Right. So everybody should have a roof over their head, man, to cover their shame or whatever. Basically, privacy. Somewhere you can go for privacy. You're sleeping in a parking lot, man. People They pull up on you. People, I don't want to get too graphic, but people pull up in parking lots to have sex. All right, you're laying there asleep. All right, or you got people out there that be spinning out doing donuts in parking lots every night. There be all type of activities going on in night parking lots. All right, so you really don't get any privacy. All right, even though you may lock your doors, put sheets on whatever. All right, privacy. All right, but again, the chief things, Sirach 29 verse 21, the chief things of life is water and bread, which the majority of people can't afford that with the outrageous price of groceries or whatever, and clothing and a house to cover that shame. Right, and clothing and a house to cover that shame. All right, again, based somewhere you go for privacy, man. A place everybody should have a roof over their head for their own privacy. But millions of Americans don't have that here in Babylon the Great. You got a majority of people sleeping in their cars. You got a majority of people sleeping on the streets. All right? Which that's true oppression, man. Again, that's the chief things in life. Like the Lord said, everybody should have access to that. But they don't in this devil's world. And that's why we hope and pray that the Most High takes this place out sooner rather than later, man. All right? But again, I know that this man's system, all right? And then again, your politicians and all that telling you everything's so great, everything's going back to normal, but yet you got this shit. You got a majority of people sleeping on the streets and a majority of people sleeping in cars. All right? Things ain't great here. Things here are worse than they ever been, man. All right? So with that, I pray this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakak Wadashi, double honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and safety to you brothers that push this truth and sincerity. And with that, I'm going to say shalom.